So Herbie Lovebug called me because we had been doing shows on the road. Salt and Pepper was on the road with us too. We had done a tour in '88. I forget the name of the tour, but it was Keith Sweat, Salt and Pepper, and Heavy D. And Keith, of course, was the headliner, and everybody, Salt and Pepper. It was Keith headlining, and it was Salt and Pepper, and it was Heavy. So we all got to know each other then, and me and Herbie became friends, and his sister started working for me. So, now we family. And Herbie calls me one day, and he's like, Jack, I need you to do me a favor. And I was like, sure. He said, can you come to the studio and work on something for me and fix it? And I was like, all right, well, what is it? And he said, we got a song, and it's I can't get the song right. And he was like, I need some vocals on there, and I need your vocals on there. So, he was like, I called Stanley Brown, and there's producer Stanley Brown that did the Christopher Williams, what was Christopher Williams' single?
That was around the time when he was in a movie, right?
Yeah. What was Chris's single? I can't even think of it right this second.
I forgot, because that's when he did the whole acting. Funny.
Yeah. Stanley Brown produced that on Chris, and he's produced some other stuff, but Stanley has a whole roster of stuff. And he was like, Herbie was like, well, I called Stanley in too, so I need both of y'all to come in and fix this record. So Stanley and we get in the studio, and we both like, oh Lord, what are we gonna do to this? So I'm going over the song, and I'm saying, well, let me rewrite this and write it and sing it the way Shaka Khan would do it. I was like, let me see would this work if I can do something that sounds like something Shaka would do. And I did it, and it was the whole hook to Expressions. So it was and when you think about it, when you hear it, then you can hear the little bit of Shaka that's in it. Don't tell me what I cannot do, babe.
Yeah.
And that's something that Shaka would sing. Like, that's how she was singing. So
yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know if that song was going to hit or not. We just like, yeah, here's another song. Like, okay, we just going to see what happens. Turns out it comes out, and it's a #1 freaking single there. And it was their first #1 record on Billboard, on the hip hop charts. I thought Push It was a #1 record, but it wasn't. Expressions was their first #1 record. So it sold 2 million singles. It went double platinum. And when we were doing the video, it was so crazy. Herbie's house caught on fire. And it was supposed to be me, Herbie, and Play from Kid and Play. We were going to be bums in the videos. In the video, we were going to be bums together, digging out of the garbage cans and stuff. And then towards the end of the video, we were going to dress up and walk the runway and, be all fly and whatever. So since Herbie's house caught on fire, we're shooting the video, and I finished my part, and I was supposed to dress up and do the next part. So Millicent Shelton, she's a big producer now, but she was the hot video director back then. And she said, well, Jack, I don't, I have you here to come and do, change clothes and do the runway. But she said, Salt said no. And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, yeah, Cheryl said, no, we're not doing that. So I said, first of all, the deal was not for me to come and be no bum in no garbage can, and we're going to leave it at that, because the crazy part was the hats and stuff that they wore in the video, that's how I dressed. So, that was taken from me to put in the video. And that's why I found a hat in the garbage, because that was my thing. I wore these funky hats. And it's so funny because Mike Bivens, and when he saw the video, he was like, yo, Jack, what's going on? They took your style, man. That's your style. What happened? And let me tell you, because by the time Herbie ended up coming to the video shoot, I was already dressed, ready to leave, had my coat on, everything. And he was like, Jack, where you going? And I said, well, Cheryl told Millicent she didn't want to do that part. She didn't want us to dress up. So I'm going home. And, he was like, well, wait a minute, wait. So he went and he was talking to Millicent, he was talking to Cheryl. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Keep what y'all got. I'm good. I'm out. And I left. Because I was not a confrontational person when it came to music. I would cuss you out, but it was a certain thing. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna fight for that. I'm just gonna let it go. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. I was like, I just want to do a hip hop record. I already got in trouble because I wasn't supposed to do it. Hiram told me not to do it. And then the record label didn't know I was doing it. So I wanted to do it. I snuck and did it because I was like, man, please, y'all put me on the shelf. I'm gonna do something. So I not only did Expressions, and then when they dropped it, it went #1, and then it was double platinum. I left and went on the road with the rock group Toto.
With Toto.
And, I was singing, Hold the Line, Georgie Porgy, Rosanna.
Well, hold on. I don't want to go to Toto just yet, because that's we going right on that. We're going right on that. But I got to get back to the Salt and Pepper thing.
Okay.
Have you ever discussed why
No.
he didn't want you to be there?
No. And you know what, to this day, because to be honest, when Dee Dee, when Spin was having a problem with them 2 years ago, she was suing them. And we were both actually going at them at the same time, because Cheryl did not want me to have credit. She didn't want me to get residuals off of Expressions. It didn't come into play for us to have like residuals for performance royalties, until 2006, and it was because everything went to streaming. So now, we have to get residuals. So the residuals and stuff started picking up more like 2010, around like 2010. So she didn't want me to have residuals. So the argument with us was, well, what do you mean? I'm going back and forth with a manager who I knew very well. He wasn't a manager before, and I used to do work for him. And we going back and forth, and I'm like, what do you mean? She don't want me to have, a percentage. We supposed to split it 3 ways, or we split it 4, with Dee Dee being part of it. And he said Cheryl was like, you made a deal with Herbie, and you're not supposed to get any residuals. But first of all, I made a deal with Herbie not to get a point on the record. I told him, it's okay, because I was supposed to get a point on the record so I can get paid. I gave up that point on the record. So, and I gave up my writer's credit. I wrote my part. So I didn't even get publishing, and I was making money. So, at that time, you're young, you making money, and you're like, you know what, just rock with it. But I got in trouble for it, because I was supposed to not only have a point on the record, I was supposed to get publishing, right money as well. So I gave all of that up, and now it's, performance royalty time because of Spotify and all the streaming services, and you don't want to give that. What do you mean? That's just being greedy. Now, I could take them to court right now and win, because I wrote my part. I didn't sign no contract about nothing, and I could take them to court and win, hands down. But, it's going to cost me a lot to do it, and I can't afford to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave it to the Most High and just, let it go. So in 2020, when I was fighting back and forth with them, and Spin was fighting back and forth with them, I just, I prayed about it, and it was like the Holy Spirit just said, leave it alone. Like loud as day in my spirit, leave it alone. And I was like, all right, Father, because this is not fair. Your word says, I have to call him on his word. And I said, your word say, pay a man for his labor.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I wondered that. I'm glad that I got this story, because I knew nothing about this whole thing going on. And I'm glad we got that story. I'm glad. I don't know if the listeners already knew, but I'm glad that we got that story, because I always wondered your credits even on the song. It doesn't say featuring you, which I thought was weird. And I'm like, it's clear
no, it
that
does.
it's her.
On the album, it does.
On the album, it does?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay,
it
cool.
says featuring Jacci McGhee. Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Because I was looking, even recently, I was looking at videos. Well, they put up by anybody anyway. So but the videos did, and I was just weirded out by it. So I'm glad that we got that story. And so, Cheryl, whatever the hell you want to be called, we're gonna need you to fix this. You know what it is. Carface upset it. Jackie needs her credit, her money that's owed to her, nothing that she's asking. I'm speaking up for you. So, but no, real talk though.